Greetings, everyone. My name is Billy McNeilly. I wanted to take some time out to share this important information that my mentor shared with me about 2 weeks ago. It was about converting my debt to wealth and becoming debt free within 5 to 7 years. So, obviously, I sat down and listened. To my surprise, the system he explained to me would help me eliminate all my debts, like my mortgage, student loan, personal loans, and my credit card debts. It sounded too good to be true. After I got into this more, I got the software and used it. I could not believe it. To me, that was the biggest secret the banks would not tell anyone about. At that moment, I knew I had found my new career and what I wanted to share with everyone. Please just listen to those testimonies on the Zoom call. I assure you, it was not staged. It is 100% organic and even better than it could ever be if planned. Wow, please listen.
Di, I'm going to call on you because I love your testimonial. While others are getting up the courage to share theirs, I love your testimonial. What's the MMA doing for you?
Oh my goodness, guys. The MMA is awesome. And you guys know I was the person who thought it was awesome for everyone but me because I didn't need this program. I mean, really, I have no debt. All I have is a mortgage. How many of you guys have heard that one before? All I have is a mortgage. I have no debt. I have a great low rate, 3%, and 25 years of banking experience. And then I ran my numbers. And the program's taking me from 27 years down to 7.8. You guys, that's awesome. And another thing that I discovered that I honestly didn't know about myself, I'm horrible with my finances. I thought I was really good because, I have all this knowledge. I've made a ton of money, but I really didn't realize what a poor money manager I was until I started tracking it and seeing how much I make and how little I actually keep. That's a real eye-opener. So the Money Max account has made me a way better steward of my finances. I'm saving more money than I ever have before. We're also using the MMA Pro so that we are building wealth simultaneously while we're paying down the debt. And it really, you guys, if I needed the program, everybody in the world needs the program. And it can do so much more than you even realize. I mean, going in, we've been having a lot of big expenses with the wedding coming up, and just how the Money Max account is like, oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, you just put in all the different things from florists to photographers to all of the, you guys know what all goes into that. And the Money Max account, it's like, don't worry, that's going to take you a month. That's going to take you 2 months, whatever it is. And it just gets you right on track. So we all need it, whether we think we need it or not. And the more you use it, the more you wish you had always had it. Because, oh my goodness, could have been debt-free so long ago, but I was stuck on traditional banking principles.
And that brings up something else, Diane. Thank you for sharing that. That brings something else up. Friends, a lot of times we think, well, if somebody works at the bank, maybe it's your favorite teller at your favorite bank that you go to every week, maybe it's the manager of the bank, maybe it's the customer service person at the bank, whatever. you tend to think, do I dare talk to somebody in the banking industry about this program? Di, what would you say to somebody that's hesitating to talk to their banker?
Talk to your banker and understand there's a difference between bankers and tellers. Okay. Tellers, they really don't know much. They're money counters, and they're not licensed, and they have no financial literacy as a whole. That your banker, who is mortgage licensed, securities licensed, life licensed, they will get this. They will totally understand it. When I was at KeyBank, I had to leave KeyBank because I was captive. This was a conflict of interest. I could not sell the Money Max account and be a licensed relationship manager. But if somebody opens their eyes and actually sees what it is we do, there's a moral obligation. So talk to your banker.
That's awesome. Thank you, Di. Darren Washington, you've got your hand up.
Oh, okay. Hold on just 1 second. I got kicked off. Hold on. I don't want to be as echoey. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. I would imagine you guys were asking what the Money Max is doing for. Okay, like I said, I got kicked off, and when I came back in, you was talking about people being shy. Well, one of the things that the Money Max has done for me, and I wish I'd had it about 3 or 4 years ago when I lost my house and a couple of cars. Number one, it would have, like Di, I think, really reiterate what Di said. It would have made me a better steward, and it would also would have gave me an ideal of how, you know, how you show that where the people, the lady loses her job, and the system tells them that they have so many months before they have to panic. Well, that would have been me. And not only that, now that I have it, I feel that I will be able to budget better, which I am. And also, too, I'm looking forward to, as I get ready to, you know, reestablish myself financially, I think this program will guide me so I won't have to face a consequence like that ever again.
That's awesome. That is awesome, Darren. Thank you so very, very much for.
And then, because there were hands up, that this isn't a bad thing for the banks, even though it's a conflict of interest for most bankers. You have to understand the Money Max account helps the bank get their money back faster so they can lend it out to somebody else. So even though they're not earning as much interest, they're getting the money back faster so they could loan it back out. This isn't, the banks aren't hurting any because of us. This really is a win-win.
It is, Di. Thank you. And by the way, and Jackie, I see your hand up. I promise I'll get to you in just a moment, but I want to take that even a step further, because I had an agent on my team back in 2007 who literally took this program to a credit union, and the credit union invited her and myself, and I think there might have been somebody else from corporate that came. I don't remember, maybe not, but we went to the board of the credit union and presented it in such a way that just what Di just said, this will benefit and help your clients if you introduce it to your clients at the credit union. As it turned out, they decided not to, but several of the executives at the credit union not only became clients, they became agents. So don't automatically think that you can't take it to your banker, friends. Bankers are just as ignorant about how interest really works as a lot of the rest of them. They're trained, and I can verify this. I mean, your knowledge and your understanding about how money works and how finances work is all based on your training. And so they've had that Main Street training, and that's all they know. And when they're introduced to something like UFF and the MMA, they're blown away. They just had no idea.
And it expands their business. If you look at it at the bank, you know, I did mortgages. This helps the average homeowner become a real estate investor should they choose. It helps the average homeowner get into their dream house, because what houses do we all buy? The ones we can afford or the ones we want? We buy the house we can afford, and by rapidly building equity, we could harvest that equity and upgrade sooner. So when you properly present this to a banker, they see repeat customers. I mean, if we could show you how to pay off 15 mortgages in the same period of time, you would pay off one. I think that's a win-win for the bank. That's 15 mortgages that goes through them. If we can help you upgrade sooner, if we could help you get better control of your money, that means now you are, buying insurance, you're getting investments, you're getting all of these additional products. And the more financially savvy you are, the more credit you can afford. There's all sorts of benefits for the bank into promoting the Money Max account.
Absolutely, for sure. Jackie Washington, you've been patient. You've got your hand up. Go ahead and unmute and share what the MMA is doing for you this morning, if you would, please.
Yes, good morning. And I would turn my camera on, but I just left the gym, so I'm not going to scare y'all half to death. But this is about my second week logging on, listening to the morning meetings that you're having. And I just want to say thank you, because I listen to Monday nights and okay, they're fine, but this here is a powerful piece. But anyway, I started the program when it was first United First Financial in 2008, and I did go to Utah. So 2008, I had a mortgage of $114,000, and I had a HELOC, because at that time you had to have a HELOC. And in 2013, I paid my house off. So that's 5 years. I got rid of a $114,000 mortgage. But let me say this to you. I was very skeptical, paid my $3,500, very skeptical. So I said to myself, okay, Jackie, show your journey. So I got me a 3-inch binder. And every time the Money Max account told me to make a balance transfer, I Xeroxed all of my checks. I Xeroxed all of my mortgage statements. So I literally have a 3-inch binder with all of my my journey. So when I'm selling this, I really don't even show them the videos. I show them my proof, because we say we're supposed to be a product of the program. The very first balance transfer they told me to make was $19,700, right? And I'm thinking, yeah, right. So I'm going to write a check for $19,700 from my HELOC, right? Pay on my mortgage. In my mind, I'm thinking, so my mortgage goes down $19,700, but I have a $19,700 balance on my HELOC. But let me tell y'all something, following the plan, and again, HELOC, I had rental property, so I had, income coming in. But in like 5 months, that $19,700 that I had a balance in my HELOC went away. So now I'm like, come on, come with it. So I started loving those balance transfers. But honestly, my suggestion is, if you have this program, start you a notebook so you can show your clients what you have done, if that all makes sense. But yeah, it definitely works. And this thing here, listening to everyone talking about jump in the fire and all that, I am going to be better at trying to build a bigger team. I don't have a team right now. I used to have a team, but I stopped. But now I think I'm getting ready to jump back in this. Thank you so much.
Anika Green, you've got your hand up.
Yes, Jackie's story was so great though. So now I don't know if you need mine, but it's okay. It's a different side. So I was introduced to the MMA, and I had already started working on my debt because I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And so I'd started working on my own with the snowball, and I was like, I can do this. This is great. And then I got introduced to the MMA, and I only had one student loan left. And I was like on the fence. Should I do it? Should I not? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to become an agent, so I'm going to buy it because they say buy it. So let's listen and let's just try it. So I did that, and then I became the demo and was let go from my job. And so this has given me the peace of mind of knowing exactly what I need to do. I'm going to pay off my last student debt before the end of this year. and be prepping to buy a house so that I could use this, because it's a lifelong product that I'm going to do. So I'm going to get to build with it that way. So just something different. You know, I didn't have the large debt and all the other things that's done for me yet, but I jumped out on faith and was excited about what I did here. And so it's given me the greatest peace of mind, just knowing, just being able to put in there, okay, hypothetically, what is this going to do if I do this? All right, so I make another sale this week for my MMA. What is that going to do for me? And so it just, honestly, you hear it in the demo and, you know, it kind of breezes by. You're like, sure, yeah, man, that stinks. I lost my job. But I actually did that. And it is actually giving me the encouragement. Why do you see me smile every morning? One, because God is good. And two, because he gave me this MMA that allows me to have the peace of mind to know without a shadow of a doubt, I have money and I'm going to have money and I'm going to be able to pay off my debt. So it's just great.
That is awesome, Anika. That is absolutely awesome. Let me ask, because you did present the other side of things, so to speak, you know as well as we do, there's so many people out there that are renting that have consumer debt, student loans, car loans, credit cards. Maybe they don't have a mortgage yet. But go into a little bit more detail. How is the MMA helping you prepare to get a home, prepare to get a mortgage?
It's taking away, so I have a lot of people around me that are also looking at this, but it's taking away the fear factor. What if my mortgage is too much? What if I do this? If I do this, am I going to be able to afford it? It's having that $1 billion backing me. This isn't just my hypothetical. It's just not my parents saying, oh, when I did that. This is not that. This is $1 billion backing me, knowing that without a shadow of a doubt, if I follow this simple plan, and it's not a strict, if you make one mistake, it's over for you. You can change it and it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be the end of the world. I literally have no income other than this coming in right now, and I can be okay. So that's just, it's taking away that fear of being scared of jumping out and buying a home, buying multiple homes, buying multiple properties, you know, getting into real estate, all of those things. It takes away that fear and not being able to move and just being able to give you that backup plan. So it's great.
Thank you, Anika. Okay, go ahead, John.
Thank you so much. Back in, I guess, April, I approached Maria Johnson with another company that I was affiliated with. I've known Maria for about 20 years. She stopped me cold. She said, John, I don't want to hear it. I am laser focused. I'm sure what you have to offer is very good. I don't have time for anything but this company that I'm with. So if you want to listen, you can. If not, that's up to you. I said, okay, tell me about it. And she started probing and said, John, do you have any debt? I turned 80 February the 3rd, the day the music died. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper plane crash. I said, no, my house has been paid off. I bought it when I was 27. It's been paid off when I was 57. She said, you have no debt? And I said, well, I got scammed by a guy. And yeah, I have a mortgage with home equity of $70,000. Maria said, John, that's debt. You need us. You need us. I said, okay, tell me about it. It would have been 26 years to pay off $70,000, not counting what I'm earning from other revenue, rental property, items like that, or my income from this, just everything as if I had never come on board. The payout time has been reduced from 26 years to 1 year and 8 months. I hope to crush that to about 1 year when the commission checks come in, and the dollar interest is $40,000 in interest that has been eliminated. Anybody listening in that has the good fortune to be a part of Magnificent Maria, she's 5'3". I call her the little bundle of dynamite. You are a lucky camper, and so am I. I'm forever grateful to Maria. Thank you.
That is awesome, John. That is powerful, friends. That's the MMA. That is awesome, John. Thank you so much. Leslie Hudson, you're up next.
I am so excited. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Di. Thank you, Clay. Thank you, Steve. I am Steve Bishop's neighbor. I am new, and he did not. I made a quick decision. The other day, you were talking about decisions. It was a no-brainer for me. When he showed it to me, I was like, wow. Now, I know now, being on the MMA, that I need structure. I was a person who, I work a job, the money goes into the bank account, all the bills are automatically drafted because I know the money's going to be there. But the MMA is showing me where the money should go and what to do, and I need that. And it has been, and it's going to be, it is a lifesaver. So reducing the mortgage from 27 years down to 7 years is simply amazing. It's going to be even shorter than that. So I'm so excited, and I am pumped up. Thank you.
That's awesome, Leslie. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Steve Bishop.
Lynn, this is my why. When you hear people and you're surrounded by phenomenal people like Leslie. Matter of fact, this morning I walked by Leslie's house twice. I walk about 2.5 miles in the morning, and but long story short, we're just so blessed to have wonderful people like Leslie on our team. And hey, and also Jackie, way back, Sue and I joined you first. Well, you first. Way back in 2008, of course, we've been mortgage and debt free since 2011. Hey, wait a minute, what are you doing with the program? Listen, it's still our coach. It's still, we manage all the funds that comes into our business and all the funds that comes into our personal home. With this product, we paid $3,500 for this program way back in November, to be exact, November the 28th. And folks, I could sit here and tell you and get my clients on the phone that are now mortgage and debt free. This is my why. Hey, I've been in the financial services business since 1971. Matter of fact, today is the 6th day of August. Today is my 53rd year in financial services. I love what we do. I mean, to be blessed to have people like Leslie and Chad and all these other folks that's on the call this morning. Hey, also too, Jackie, if you don't mind, way back in 2008, 2009, we worked together. We got a magazine every month, and it was called Success Magazine. And you won't believe this, we have got stacks of them still. So if anyone wants a Success Magazine featuring our company, let Bishop know. Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you, Steve. You're going to get flooded with requests for that, I'm sure.
Well, hey, I don't know if I have that. Hey, first come, first serve.
Yeah, that is.
I want one, Steve.
Hey, well, Leslie, I've got to come by your house to drop off some stuff for you, so I'll bring your copy, and I'll see if I can find the one with Jackie in it. How about that?
There you go. That is awesome. Thank you so much, John Arnold.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come in twice, but I did have to share it because I think it's significant. When I was first coming into the MMA and using it, I called support a lot because there was things I didn't understand how to input and take it in and use it to its full ability. And there was a lady that I talked to one day. Her name was Stephanie. She's been there. I asked her how long she'd been working with the UFF. She said like 15 years. And I asked her, well, aren't you debt free? And then she told me the story. When she first got there, she purchased her MMA the first month that she was there. And she had it for a whole year. The only problem was that her balances kept on going up and the payoff date kept on going up every little bit. So after a year, she said she was just gonna file for a refund and get a refund. So when she talked to support started asking her questions. What the story found out was that she did not change. She thought she could just keep on going and charging and charging and charging with the same income level. I think it was Anita that said something about realizing her spending habits. I know there was somebody that said something about realizing spending habit. She realized in that first year that the MMA was not working for her, that it wasn't the MMA that was not working. It was her not utilizing the program to perfection. So I asked her, and she told me, well, I ended up using it and I was debt free in five years. I said, wow, that's amazing. So why do you still work? Why do you go punch a clock? She told me very straightforward, where else can you go to go get paid for simply helping people? I don't get mad calls. I don't get complaint calls. All I do is help people all day long improve their lives. That sold me right there. She works there. She used it. It worked. She could have quit and gone and enjoyed her life and just wake up every day doing whatever she wanted to. What does she want to do? Continue to support the company that got her to where she was so she can help others get there as well. I just thought I'd share that with you guys because I told her we need to get her story somehow and do a video. And I wish somebody would get to her because her telling it is such more, it's so much more impactful than me telling it because it came with passion, like you were talking about, Lynn, earlier. It came with so much passion and truth.
Thank
but
you.
I wanted to share that real quick.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that very, very much. That's awesome. Rich Santana.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. MMA has done amazing things in mine and my wife's lives, for sure. When we first did it, my wife was, she's always been hands-on finances, everything. She loves budgeting, getting everything lined up. And even her, she was hesitant. But once we took the leap of faith and jumped in, it took about 2 months for her to fully realize the power of it and what it was going to do for a 30-year mortgage, taking it down to under 10 to under 7. Lord willing, we're going to keep running it and get as low as possible. But another thing too that God's put in our heart is we've been doing marriage ministry for a while. And one testimony, I'm going to have my wife find it again. Hopefully we can find it. But she had a couple come in and they had their finances separated. So the husband paid a certain amount, the wife paid a certain amount. And we were sharing the product. She was sharing the product with them. And my wife said, okay, let's do 2 different scenarios. Let's do a scenario where we keep the finances separated, and let's do a scenario where we combine efforts. Well, the scenario was such a significant difference. It's probably like 5 years of savings time. They were like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. We're going to combine our efforts. So in that, it's helping us help marriages because a lot of times financial stresses in a marriage and a relationship causes divorce, causes separation. So now that God's put us in a position to where we're doing marriage counseling, marriage ministry, marriage conferences, we can use this as a tool to bridge the gap where there's that conflict in marriages to help them become united, knowing this is full well, we can get couples coming together. My wife also has her little sister who she was the one handling the finances. Her husband was in the military. Well, finances are going there, making good money. And he was like getting upset, like, what's going on here? My wife talked to her about the MMA, got them lined up. Now she's got confidence. She's chopping down the debts. They're both come together. They're happy where their finances are. So if you guys have couples who are struggling, talk to them and see if finances is one of the issues and get them plugged into the MMA.
Love it, Rich. Love it. Absolutely love it. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Daryl Dandridge.
Okay, I'm back.
Awesome.
Technology is wonderful when it works.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I put it in the chat before I dropped out and I came back. But one of the things that it's truly been a blessing to me, getting started in it, just, really just, I'm talking about, I'm just now getting started, really getting started. Ran the analysis. When I first did it, I ran it. It's kind of like what Allie's husband just said. I'm sorry, I'm Gail's husband. Hey, I don't nobody know my name. But what happened was I was running it all on my own, and I did not qualify for it because, like, there's been time like I've made really good money, and then I went through a devastating health issue. Without working for 3 years, the money that was coming in, it was great for the time, and I thank God for it. And then my money, like I said, just obviously what it's going to do, it's going to start disappearing, and it disappeared. And I got into a severe tax debt with the IRS, and I'm talking about it was just horrible. And I didn't qualify. And then I thought about it, and let me put my wife in here. And so added her income, even the few bills, that she has in it. And then I qualified, and it made it so awesome because when we set it up initially, we had put in, like I said, it was going to take us 9.2 years. Well, like I said, we had a 26-year debt, and then it brought us down to 7 years, 7.2 years. And it was like, man, I was so excited. I'm like, what? I can't believe it. I can't believe it, because we're looking at over $300,000 in debt and talking about paying it off. And one of the things that really got it for me was, okay, the 7 years was good. That was good. But when it said that I would be 67, when I got the debt paid off, and I'm not that far from 67. And I'm like, man, that excited me to see, looking at that, I still be, young enough. And this is just without putting any added UFF income into it or doing anything like that. And so with that, again, it just truly excited me. And then I thought about it. Oh my God, I forgot about that IRS debt, $47,000. Well, what is this going to do? I put it in, and I was set up. We got 6 years to pay that off, and and that can be horrible because of the interest that is accruing on it daily. And so, but I put that in, and what it did, it showed that basically that IRS debt, $47,000, by adding it to our program, that it took us to just being 9 years to get out of debt. So it just added 2 more years. I'm like, I did something wrong. This is not right. I did something wrong. But then I remember what we always hear, as Lynn says, how is this happening? And Lynn says, I don't know. I don't have a 30 million algorithm. All right. And so just looking at this, and so it's just really, really exciting to us to be able to do this, and just to think that when, add more income and be able to do this again. And I thank God that, like I'm still, going through health issues, but I'm able to work and be able to be a blessing to my family. But I'm also sharing this information with the ministry. I pastor a church, so sharing this information with the ministry as well as the community. So I'm grateful for this. This is just amazing, and I look forward to coming back and sharing. Hey, I'm debt free, and after only 2 years. Amen. All right, thank you.
Amen, Daryl. That is so awesome. Thank you. I want to really quickly share, Daryl, while you're available and unmuted, Pastor Daryl. Pastor Daryl and I had a conversation, and I want to share with everybody this morning something we talked about. One of the miracles that is in the Bible is Jesus feeding the 5,000. And when you really think about that miracle and you read it over and over and over, what was it? A few fish and a few loaves of bread that he had.
2 fish and 5 loaves of bread.
Two fish and 5 loaves of bread, and feeds 5,000, and it says specifically 5,000 men, plus there's women and children.
Plus women, so about 20,000 people.
Yeah. Daryl and I were talking about this one day, and I said, you know what I believe, and I very strongly believe this because of what happened with my wife and I with the MMA and You First, or UFF, is we saw the blessing started happening big time when we started sharing this with others. We started taking it to other people. Is it when Jesus raises up the fish and the loaves and prays over it? Or is it when he hands it off to the disciples and they take it to others? Think about that, friends. Think about that. Really think about that. When does the miracle occur? Daryl, your thoughts on that?
The miracle occurs once they started passing out the fish and the loaves. Jesus lifted up the bread and the loaves and prayed to God to bless it. And then the scripture says he broke it, and then he gave it. So he gave it to the disciples, and then the disciples, 12 of them, went around feeding about 20,000 people. And every time they would hand something out, then more would come in. They would hand something out, more would come in. And I told Lynn about the time that my mom had invited me and my men's ministry choir to come down to her little tiny church and to sing, and it was about 12 of us, but only 5 of us said that they were able to go. So I told Mom about how many of us were coming, and so then Mama says, okay, well, yeah, I can handle 5. I'm not going to ask the church to do it. I'm gonna cook spaghetti and chicken for you all, and so you all would have a meal after the service. So we shows up, and 12 of us walks in, and my mom goes, "Oh God, I don't have enough food for these big 12." I'm talking, we big burly men. And when we went down to the house, Mama said, well, she told me later, she says, I just prayed and asked God, Lord, like I said, this is all I got to feed. I was planning for 5, but here 12 big men coming in here to eat. And she said it seemed like every time that she dipped into that spaghetti pot and put it on her plate, looked like more spaghetti came into the pot. And so it's just like, I would say with us, I believe that the more, like I said, we give and we share this, the more will come into our pot. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Daryl. Really appreciate that. And that's exactly what happens, friends. The more you get out there and share this good, incredible program with other people, the more you're going to get blessed. There's just no 2 ways about it. There was someone.
Hey, Lynn.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, and just like Jesus, when they passed out, there were 12 basket loads left over. They had leftovers. And just like with my mom, she had leftovers after we left. So that would be leftovers. So with us blessing others, we will be blessed in return.
Amen. Amen. That is so awesome. Reminds me of 2 Corinthians 9, 8 through 11. Y'all can go look up those verses after the meeting today. 2 Corinthians 9, verses 8 through 11. Steve Bishop.
Yeah, Lynn. Brother Daryl, God bless you, brother. Listen, I have a heart for pastors. We were blessed starting in 2009 to work with the church in Jonesboro, Georgia, to help them become mortgage and debt free. And that church is still mortgage and debt free. They still use the program. Well, I'll tell you, that's the heart of God, though. I mean, we have such an awesome opportunity and awesome responsibility. So, hey, Brother Daryl, if I can be a blessing to you and to your church and help you in your business, hey, call me, because I do have a heart for pastors.
God bless you. I certainly will. Thank you, sir.
Thank you both. All right, Pat, Amy, you've been patient and had your hand up. Pat, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to come on video to be respectful. It's morning. I haven't gotten dressed yet, but that's okay. I've been in for a while. I came in through Steve and Clay, and I never said anything, always on the sidelines. I don't want to come on and be a Debbie Downer with my story, but there may be someone like me. So when we got in and did our MMA, we were negative, we were down. We have a trucking business that we're unwinding, a lot of debt. So we were down and we were negative. So I didn't think that I'm going to try not to cry. I didn't think that we would be a candidate to even try to talk to anyone else about finances because, we are in such a bad place. And it's like, how can you lead someone to the promised land when you're in the gutter? And so the MMA I'm looking to get out of it is to show us our poor spending habits, just poor for one thing, and to get to a place where I can use it to help get additional income. That's what Steve and I and Clay had talked about when I first came in. We did our numbers and we were like 27 years to get paid off. We put in the numbers with the potential income that I could make just from helping a family a week. And we went from 28 years down to like 7.2 years. Everything paid off. And so for me, I want to look to it as a vehicle of hope, because we're in a desperate place right now, borderline bankruptcy, and I'm just being honest with the family. But I'm looking to the MMA, as well as, you know, executing plans to perfection, to get in there and get going and going. Even though my testimony may be poor right now, I can use others' testimony to help lead a family. And talking about the miracle feeding, I think the miracle that's often overlooked is the little boy that had the fish and the bread. He could have been selfish and said, well, I got something to eat. Y'all have to figure it out. But God in his side to that little boy who would have had a heart to say, here, this is what I have. It's enough for me, but I see other people need. Here it is. See what you can do with it. That's where the miracle started. Had that little boy not offered up his small little lunch that he packed for the day, that was the blessing there. And I look at that. I have the blessing, and it may not be enough for me right now, but I know there's other people that can use it and perhaps avoid them from getting to the place where we are as we dig our way out by faith in this tool of UFF. So I just want to thank my brother Steve Carter. I want to thank. I saw that Clay is on, even everything that he went through yesterday, that if this man is on, knowing what happened, there's no excuse for me not to be on, even in the midst. And I'm in and out because, like I said, I'm feeling that I'm not worthy to be a mouthpiece for UFF and the MMA. But Clay is giving me courage. He's giving me hope to execute every perfection. And I don't always get it right, but today I'm better than I was yesterday because I got on today. And so I just want to thank you all, and just pray for me. I'm a woman of God. Just pray for me that we'll continue to be obedient and diligent and getting to a better place in that promised land while leading others there. Thank you all.
Pat, that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is a perfect way to wrap it up, and you don't have to be ashamed at one iota of that testimonial, because that is so powerful and so strong. That is what tens of millions of Americans need right now, is hope. That is what they need. Hope with a clear vision of how they can get out of the mess that they're in, and that's what we do. Pat, you just absolutely described it beautifully. God bless you and your family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everybody. My goodness, brought me to tears, Pat. That was powerful.